What's up guys, it's Lightsparrow here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video of a Giants B10 team using Delphoi. So this team in particular is going to be using Delphoi as the one and only cleanser. It's definitely acceptable or okay to use Delphoi with another cleanser like Vero or Kona or whatever you have, but I'm going to prove that you don't need another cleanser. Delphoi can do the job if she's fast enough and has max skills. If you don't have the third skill maxed, I don't know if it would work. You don't need to worry about the first and second skill, you just need the third skill. So if you get really unlucky, then you'll have to get everything maxed. But I got really lucky and my very first skill up went into the third skill. So yeah, it works fine. As you can see here, other than Delphoi, this is a completely farmable team. So if you are looking to make your first team,
how about a little music to count me money to?
This team could be an option for you if you want. Shylock, I don't think he's that amazing in Giants, but I put him in here just because I never really use him and I have him 6-starred. So I figured I'd just throw him in there. He's not useless. Mav, most people would throw Bernard in that spot, but I decided to put Mav in so I could get the immunity up more often, and I still have the attack debuff from Darien and the defense break from Darien and Bella, so I didn't think I really needed Bernard that much. Darien, you guys know what Darien does. He does the defense break, the attack break, a little bit of damage now, and he has a passive that reduces damage by 20%. And then Bella is going to defense break, buff strip, heal. Shylock will also do a buff strip in case your Bella does get resisted on it. Now I'll start going into Delphoi and explaining her since she is kind of the topic of this video. Delphoi's first skill, if you crit, will speed debuff the enemy. So my Delphoi is on like 51 crit rate, and then with element advantage that's like 66. So 2/3 of the time she will land a speed debuff on whoever she attacks, which is very nice when it gets to the boss stage. But if you don't have any crit rate, then it's not going to land, which is unfortunate. It is good to note that in Giants she always gets the bonus 15% because of element advantage. The second skill is reusable in 4 turns, but it will reset the cooldowns of the enemies to the max. So in Giants, that's not really that useful. The boss does have a skill, and it is good to put it on cooldown because the boss's second skill is a little better than his first skill, but it's not a huge deal. The second skill is really better in other areas of the game than Giants. And then the third skill is kind of the main reason you would want to use her. It does an AoE cleanse, heal by 20%, and immunity for 2 turns. That's going to be reusable in 4 turns if you got it maxed, and 5 if it's not maxed. So with Mav, it's basically reusable in 3 turns because Mav refreshes the cooldowns by 1. So if you're using Delphoi with Mav, it is a lot safer than if you're using Delphoi with Bernard. And that's why I'm using Mav in this team, and he's still farmable, and you guys can get him if you want him. That's pretty nice. But this team should be super safe and a relatively slow run. The only damage we're going to get at all is from Darien and Shylock. Shylock actually does do a pretty considerable amount of damage, but it's not insane. I don't have him ruined on a damage build, so you're not going to see too much from him. But immunity is super nice on the boss, and the reason I like immunity over just cleansing is because a lot of times the right tower will move, and the right tower is the defense break tower. The right tower will move, and then right after he moves, the boss will attack, but so you didn't even get a chance to cleanse it, and that's why immunity is super nice to have sometimes. Because if you have immunity, then there won't even be a defense break on you that you need to worry about cleansing. Right now, it looks like the right crystal is about to get a defense break, and he did, and I got the immunity up and cleansed it before the boss attacked. So I'll show you the runes on the Delphoi and whatnot later, but basically the reason she's good is the speed debuff is helpful, but the main reason you're going to want to use her is that immunity, because immunity truly is a lot stronger than a cleanse. So if you had to debate between Delphoi and Kona as your one cleanser, Delphoi definitely is the better option. And a lot of people like Vero because Vero is a really consistent cleanse. I do think Vero is very good and might even work better than Delphoi, but some people don't feel like fusing Vero, and that's fine if you don't want to fuse him. You can make a team work without him, as I just showed you. First, I'll just explain how to rune Delphoi really quick. So these runes are not the runes I would recommend to you if you're making your first Giants B10 team. The way I'd rune Delphoi for your first team, to put it simple, is Swift Energy, Speed, HP. Don't worry about the crit rate and accuracy as much as the speed, the HP, and the defense. You need Delphoi to survive, take turns so she can cleanse and put immunity up. And that's basically how I would recommend building her for early game. I have Will, Blade, Nemesis, not an early game build. You can see the stats that I have here. I should mention the recommended stats that I have for Delphoi for your first Giants team is I recommend at least 180 speed with at least 17,000 HP and 800 defense. So if you ever 6-starred, it's pretty easy to get those stats because you only need extra 6,000 HP, 100 defense, and then the rest can go into speed and you'll be fine. But if you are going into 5-star, it becomes more of a problem. But Delphoi's base stats are very good, so it's pretty easy to get her stats to the right requirements. You can see here the key stats to note from mine is note how much HP it has, how much defense it has, how much speed it has, and actually the crit rate and accuracy are really good bonuses to get just for extra speed debuff. I have the first and second skill not touched at all. The third skill is maxed, which is actually really nice. Personally, I'll show you each rune I've got real quick. I've got mine on speed, defense, and HP. It's nothing too crazy. And so I think that's kind of what I've got to say about Delphoi in Giants B10. I should mention that if you have Violent runes, Violent would be the best set for Delphoi, but if you're making your first Giants team, you probably don't have Violent, so once again, just go Swift Energy, and that'll work really well. But so that's really all I've got for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to tell me in the comment section. Also, if there's any other videos you want to see, mention that in the comments too. If you need some more help with Delphoi or something, whatever. But I think that's really all I have for today's video, though, guys. So may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.